So as part of this small series of having a serverless GraphQL, we'll be setting a CI pipeline. This is really cool. Probably this will be the shortest video, but it's the one that I like the most because it's the one that allows you to kind of ensure that everything works good across your team members and ensure that you don't put the stuff in production that you should not, and also having some process on your development. So ideally, we're going to upload all our code to GitHub, and then we are basically ask CircleCI to react to the changes that we do in there. Why CircleCI? Because I like CircleCI. It's free and well, it's not free. You have one concurrent job at a time, but that is good enough for our example. However, this approach that we are going to do here will work for any kind of CircleCI CI system out there like Travis or Jenkins or AWS CodeBuild. That will be the same. So let's stop talking shit and let's move on with that. So let's first create a repo. Just going to name it like Serverless GraphQL. So that is okay. I will going to create a repo, and this give me this message. So I'm just going to init on my repo and paste the command that we just got from the GitHub right here. So lastly, we are going to say git push origin master. So something went wrong. Is putting git push u origin master. So okay, so what the hell? So okay, we're going to start doing this. I already did this part, so I think that this is going to fail. So yeah, so we just need to add whatever that we are committing here. Let's say new. This is our init commitment, and that. Then we say git push u origin master, and that should do the trick. Is everything went well? Yeah, let's check it out on GitHub if everything went good. We just reload the page, and yeah, definitely is here. So nice. So now that our project is on GitHub, we can come CircleCI and go to add project. You can create an account, sorry for this, and with your GitHub account, and that will take you to this dashboard. And so you just can come to add project, and if we refresh this, I have a several project here, so let's ignore this for the moment. And we are going to look for the one that we just created, and we're going to click setup. And we're going to select Linux, and we're going to select Node.js, and lastly, we're going to start building. So this is going to fail at first. So this part ignore, and go to this GR that is in here, and just click it. And this is going to get you to all these options, and the one that we care about is the one that say AWS permission. So it's going to ask you for access key and a secret key. So let's go to our AWS console that is in here, and you have to go to AM service, and then after you are in your AM page, you just come to users and add new user. So you just can create a name that has CircleCI deployment. And then we don't care about the management console. We just care about programmatic access in here. Then you add your administrators. This is not a good idea actually to put it on administrator, but for the sake of the example, it worked well. Probably at some point we'll make a good video about how to set policies for a specific user for deployment this stuff. But I don't want to get that long here, so I just put it on administration and go to review and create user. So lastly, you just create your user, and this info that you have in here is the one that they are asking you here. So copy and paste. I'm just going to copy this part, and I'm not going to show you this because otherwise you will be able to access to my account. So I will do this in secret and come back later. You know what? I will show you that. Again, I'm just going to disable by the time that you are watching this. So if we come to the secret access and we paste this, then we just save our access key and secret key ID. So this means that now our project has access to underlying AWS CLI that will run on the Docker instance that will build your project. So now that we have all this done, let's come back to our project. Okay, so first thing first, we want to do a few things in here. We want our project to run our linting rules, and in case that our code is bad, we just can run our tests, and it's only if we are on the master branch we want to make a deployment. If we are not on master branch, we just want to run the linting on the test. That is my basic deployment setup. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our packet.json a new task for linting. Let's go lint, and since we're using a standard, we're just going to put standard. This is going to run it, and let's see how this works. If we just put npm run lint, and oops, some error here. Oh, the scribe before after is not defined. That is easy to fix. We just have to come to our GraphQL test and set in here some globals. Let me put it here, global before, after, and describe it, and that should do the trick. If we come back, so we can run this linter. Nice. So yeah, it passed. So cool. So then we're going to create a bash script. You just can do this through npm script, but I'd rather to have a bash script that take care for me. So well, but that is totally up to you. So let's create that build script. So the first thing that we're going to do is set our shebang here. So bin bash nash bin bash, and then we're going to set the e and the default, and this is fail. And we're going to set our init function here. So this is going to say echo. Let's say we want it to be to use like this, like build .sh, like the dev or test or deploy dev or deploy production. That is a way that I'm envisioning this. So if nothing is put, you're going to say sample is going to be like build.sh deploy dev, and then we're going to put that space in here just in case. So let's build this. It's going to be like this. If our number of arguments is equal to 0, and then this is going to store the init and it's going to exit. Otherwise, else if is going to be if our first argument, if there is an argument instead, is going to be test. Okay, this means that we need to validate as well for the number of arguments. Oh my god, the rates are bad. Writing is equal to 1. Then we just run npm install and npm lint and npm test, which is our test script that we created before. And again, this part is in here like this. So let's do something similar for the deployment, for deploy, but the argument is 2. We just can say that our stage is going to be the argument that we pass second. For example, if we say deploy dev, this second argument that we're passing here is going to be our environment variable in here. And then if this pass, we're going to run again, npm install, and I'll do all the same process again. Run install lint, and npm run test, and lastly, we're going to do some node modules and build something SLS deploy, and we're going to do it to the stage environment that we have in here. And else we just call init and exit with 1, and this is going to do this part for us. So let's make sure that everything works well. If there is something and there is nothing in the argument, it's going to say deploy dev. If we pass an argument and it's test, and then it's just going to test. If we pass deploy, then it's looking for an argument and deploy this. So this looks good for me. So let's validate something. Notice that we are looking for a dependency of the serverless framework in that on that Docker image. Right now, I was global implementation, so I'm not sure. Yeah, we need to install it as well. So let's go back for a second here, and let's npm install save the serverless framework. So that way it will be able to find it. Good. After it's installed, we have it in here, so we are basically good to go. So let's test this. Our build script that we just created works. So since we're here, let's use chmod. This is basically we are giving a permission of execution to our build script that we just created. So this means that we can do now build sh test, and this is giving permission of execution chmod +x for our build.sh script. So this means that we're basically giving permission for be able to say this. So build test, and yep, it's working. As far as we can see, it's going standard, then it's going to create our test, and it's working as it should. So let's test our deployment, deploy dev, and it seems to be working as well. Nice. In this area, deploy dev. Did you mean deploy? Oh yeah, it means like we make a typo here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I didn't specify the stage environment here. So if we save this and come back again, so deploy. So yeah, after a few minutes, it's deployed the whole project. So now the next part is to ensure that that can happen, but instead of our local on CircleCI. So let's come back to this. The way that CircleCI works is it is going to look for a folder called circle. Just going to .circlecci, and inside that folder, we're just going to create a config.yaml where we're going to specify everything. So I just going to close this part, and I just put this a little bit for us to see better. So the version is going to be version 2. Then we need to define jobs. Jobs are basically specification. So we define our first, let's call it build block, and this is kind of let me copy and paste this because this will be boring. Okay, so let's see what is going to happen here. We're specifying that it's going to run on our Docker image. Notice that the version is 6.10. This is the version that AWS runs, the version of Node that AWS runs out there. So you need to make your test against this version and change it when AWS changed their environment version. So you make sure that everything will run perfect on that environment. So then we're going to check out and restore our cache. Then we're going to save it, and basically we're going to run our test. So remember that this test is going to run the install, the linting, and the test process. So let's come back, and we also are going to define one similar that is going to run each time on master, but this is going to be called, if this one was called build, this one is going to be called deploy. And let's indent this part correctly. So instead of running test, this is going to run deploy and on the dev environment. You can have a different one from your production environment and make it react to, I don't know, maybe to releases instead of master. That's totally up to you and your team convention. I really like this approach, and also having this one for the deployment. But what's going to happen on real time is that your company or yourself are going to have different accounts for your production and for your development. That will make sure that no one's make any mistake, because we are people and we're stupid and we'll make a lot of mistakes, and we don't want them to happen in our production environment, because that can cost a lot of money for the business. And anyway, I'm just not going to talk about this because you should know all this stuff. And let me define. Okay, now I have our job defined, so let's define our workflows, and we need to specify that this is workflow version 2 and build master. Okay, so we're going to say that the job that we're going to run is first the build that we just created up here, and also the master. You just can actually pass a few arguments in here. I'm just going to put your URL on the description, so you can see different configuration stuff that you just can do in here. For example, the one that I'm going to use is I can pass filters and then say, please run this on branches only on master, or you just can put exclude master. And this job, this deploy build. No, I'm going to say, sorry, here instead of master is deploy, because we're running this job here. So I'm so fucking stupid. So okay, so master, and this job will requires the build one. So let's see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to run build for every other branches that we just put in here, and then we just run it. If we are on the master branch, we're going to run the deployment one. So we're going to test for both. Okay, so then we can save this, and you know what? Let's do something here. Let's clear this out, and let's git added we commit, and let's go to a new stuff that added CI configuration and deployment script. Okay, so say this, I'm just going to create a new branch. Let's call it dev, and I'm just going to push it to my GitHub account. So let's see how CircleCI react to this. So we can come to our CircleCI and see our projects. Let's see, it's running, and we can see that it's doing all the checkup, the restoring and saving cache that we defined before. This might take some time. Okay, if you come here and you go to settings, you just can go to branches and protect your branch, your master branch. And we're going to say that it requires all the status check before merge. And as you can see it here, we can put, okay, I just want you to check for the build, and then we save it. And what this is going to do is that this is going to run a webhook that is directly associated with your CircleCI account. So that being said, if we just come back here and submit a PR that is already open, you can see that all the status check passed, and this is because we were asking it to check on CircleCI first, and it's passing here. So if we merge this to master, notice what is going to happen here. It's going to trigger another build, and this one is the build that we specify that need to be run only on master, and this is going to deploy our code. So the first one is already done. We're going to wait until the deployment is running, and this is going to take. Notice that this is the first job, and now it's running the second. So you just can separate yours in case that you need a few one. Let's say that maybe you want to create Docker image for your your own repository or something or whatever. This is going to take some time, so I'm just going to pause this again. And after a few minutes, you can see that it ran all the tasks and also deployed to AWS. So if we are able to get up to the bottom, we see that it ran all the tests, all our tests. It hit the API in there, create a user, call it Sarah Hubbard with this email, whatever, and then it just deployed our application to AWS. So that's basically it. So let's make sure that our DynamoDB is empty, because it should be empty. And if we go to our tables, we just go to our orders, is nothing in there, and the user is nothing there, so everything should be working as expected. So that's it. That's basically it. I hope that this can be informative for you. Thank you for watching this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now, and in terms of video, I was thinking that maybe I will take this project and make kubeless, which is an abstraction of Kubernetes for serverless, which I think is really cool. I think to deploy or maybe talk about I don't know, step functions or any other serverless or AWS topic. So if you're interested in learning something, please let me know. I will try to go through it and show you. Or if you didn't like it, don't do anything. Otherwise, my insecurities are going to kill me. And if you didn't like this, well, that is totally up to you. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. And okay, I'm talking too much shit right now and it's kind of late. So I really hope that you like this. And please subscribe and write me on Twitter or whatever. Comments are very well appreciated. So thank you for watching this and bye.